Welcome back for yet another segment that we're doing that is geared towards the November 3rd election, the general election. And during this conversation, we're going to talk about the Right to Repair Initiative, the 2020 Right to Repair Initiative. What got me involved with this particular, and I've said this in previous interviews, what got me interested with this particular initiative was myself having to take a vehicle in and being told that my local mechanic, my independent mechanic, could not look at my vehicle and fully gives me the data that I needed, and I needed to take it to an auto dealer, and I did. And to my surprise, it was going to cost me more to be able to repair the vehicle. And I also had to pay $150 in order to be able to get that diagnosis of the vehicle. Joining us today is Mr. Tom Hickey. He is with the Massachusetts Right to Repair group. Mr. Hickey, welcome to the conversation.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Talk to me a little bit about this particular initiative, because we know that a law was passed overwhelmingly in 2012. Why do we need another law like this on the books?
So in 2012, as you said, we passed the Right to Repair law at 86%. It's the highest passing ballot initiative in Massachusetts history. We joke that you can't get 9 out of 10 people to agree on anything, like drinking enough water during the day. But when it came to their car repairs, Massachusetts spoke. The idea behind the 2012 law was that, just like your story, independent repair shops weren't getting the proper information to fix the car. They were getting half the information, 3/4 of the information, and constantly having to send their customers back to the dealership, and it got increasingly worse. So what the 2012 law said in its language was that all the information that car manufacturers give to car dealers, they have to give to independent repair shops. So it was a level playing field for independent repair shops and dealerships. And more importantly, consumers could get their cars fixed where they want. So flash forward 7 years, there is a carve out for remote diagnostics. As like a lot of our laws, technology has escalated, and our laws don't update with technology as fast as they should. So there's a new way of diagnosing a car. It's wireless communications. It's referred to as telematics. And that was carved out of the 2013 Right to Repair law. Much to our chagrin, we didn't really know what telematics was. In 2013, it wasn't in a lot of vehicles, but by this year, 2020, it is in about 90% of new cars. And we, as independent repairs, but more importantly, you as owners, have no access to this wireless mechanical information. And what this ballot initiative would do would close that loophole and mandate that car manufacturers have an open and standardized platform in their vehicles to transmit directly to the owner all the mechanical information. That's the diagnostic and repair information about your vehicle, strictly to the owner, and then with owner authorization, give that to an independent repair or a dealer of their choice.
So you're saying that myself, I could, if this law passes, I would be able to get a device, read it, and then give that information to my mechanic remotely. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. It's it'd be a mobile app. It could be on your dashboard. As we know, as I said, cars are computers on wheels now. So now you have sensors in your car that can tell the owner how your car is doing. You had the check engine light. You used to have to go to an independent repair shop or a dealer and say, what's wrong? Now we can translate that check engine light. And I want to say this, Kevin, this is a great technology. We all know this. This is like the cell phone coming out. Now you can make a phone call anywhere. And that's what this is. This is a great technology, but it needs to be in the hands of someone who doesn't have a monetary interest in controlling that information. We need to get it to the owner, because it is our motto that if you bought the car, you should get all the information necessary to fix it.
The opposition there, the ads, the repair ads that we've been seeing from both sides, the opposition is pushing it that this information can fall into the wrong hands, and that somebody could actually remote in and be able to take over your vehicle at the point if you're driving it. What's your understanding of what this advertising or what this data that's being put forth? Is this accurate that somebody could actually remote in and take control of said vehicle?
No, the Coalition for Safe and Secure Data, which is just a cover up for the Ford and the GMs and the Nissans, have had to resort to scare tactics. We've seen their ads. We think they're egregious. This is about mechanical information on how your car is operating. This is diagnostic information. Right now, to diagnose a car, you plug into an OBD port and all repair codes, diagnostic codes come up. The OBD port is now becoming wireless. So we're asking for that information. There have been a number of cybersecurity experts. In fact, something just ran in the Herald today from Secure Repairs, which is one of the leading cybersecurity experts in the state. And there's no cybersecurity concerns here. We're talking about health of your car, sensors in your car. How are your brakes doing? And how do I fix that? Understand we're a coalition that fixes cars for a living. If there's a more efficient way to fix the cars, we can do that. And when it comes to cybersecurity, there have been a number of cybersecurity experts besides the Secure Repairs: Ed Davis, former Boston Police Commissioner; Mike Brown, who was the former cybersecurity head for the Navy; Bruce Schneier, who teaches cybersecurity at MIT and Harvard; Craig Smith, Open Garages. There's been a number of people that have written extensively about this that can be done in a safe and secure way. And remember, this is just mechanical information on how your car is operating. It already exists today. It's just becoming wireless.
The argument can be put forth that Massachusetts is a beta test that's ongoing right now. That I believe that we're the only state that has such a law on the books, and that this is the battleground right now. You mentioned Ford and other automakers being involved. On the other side, are there bigger companies that are involved as well, whether it's the O'Reillys or the Advanced Autos, who are also in on your side of the conversation? Or is this actually truly the independent guy who's saying, hey, something needs to be done for me to be able to continue on in my line of work?
So we have over 1,600 independent repair shops as a part of our coalition, but we are definitely, as a part of our coalition, have the AutoZones, have the O'Reillys. That's the do-it-yourselfers. I think it's important to understand we have over 40,000 jobs here in Massachusetts in the aftermarket. That's a whole entire community. Independent repair shops get parts from the AutoZones. So this doesn't just jeopardize your independent repairs. This does jeopardize the AutoZones. But more importantly, this is a market. Without an aftermarket, what happens to the prices in the market? They go up, you have less choice, and 40,000 jobs here in Massachusetts go under. So this is a team effort. Like I said, we have over 1,600 independent repair shops that have chipped in one way or another. Obviously, during the times, I think money's a little bit tight, but everyone has done their part to spread the messaging. And this is all about updating an already voted on law.
If you are just tuning in, my conversation is with Tom Hickey, and he is with the Massachusetts Right to Repair Initiative. And we're talking about the ballot question and how you should vote. I believe that this starts with, if this does pass here in Massachusetts, this will have an effect on the vehicles that are being manufactured moving forward. That's as of the 2022 model. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is it such a short amount of time that, knowing that they're probably starting to produce these vehicles now, that this can be something that'll be enacted soon enough?
Kevin, they already do this. They already collect remote diagnostics and repair information. They're already sharing it with their dealerships for new cars. So no, I think this should be done pretty simply. And if they were that worried about it, I think they would have came to the table and we could have worked out an agreement, and we wouldn't have to be here doing this all over again. But we think this can be done. They're already doing it. And now all we're asking is the owner get direct access and choose where that repair information goes.
I think I have to ask this, knowing that here we are again talking about right to repair 7 years later. Has this particular law closed a lot of the loopholes, or are we looking at any other foreseen issues that you and I might be back here talking again, knowing that we might have autonomous vehicles in the next 5 to 7 years? Could we be back here again? What do you think?
I certainly hope not, Kevin, but I think we thought that in 2013. Technology is great, but we call it security through obscurity. And car manufacturers, as you know, are always trying to make life hard for the aftermarket. They want to be in charge of the information. They want independent repairs to be at the mercy of them so they can choose who gets what, when, at what price, etc. I don't know where they go from wireless communications, but like you said, we're going to have self-driving cars, autonomous cars. As far as I'm concerned, they have to get fixed just like any other car, but I don't know what the future holds, and people should be wary about an entity that has monetary interest in controlling information.
Again, I found it interesting, again, being somebody who had to find out through real life experiences about this, and having conversations not only with you, but with individuals who are representing the opposition, and knowing that it would have costed me so much more is interesting. But also knowing that I would be curious if there are independent dealers out there who aren't necessarily updating their data in their computers in order to be able to make these said repairs. Is that a possibility as well?
Is your question, is there a possibility that some independent repairers are getting this information now?
That they're not, yeah, that they're getting it from the information, and that maybe it's simply that the ones who are opposed to, or at least for this initiative, may not have taken the time, paid the necessary expenses in order to be able to have said equipment.
Well, Kevin, right now, the proof is in the pudding. There is no open standardized platform of communicating wireless communication to the owner or the independent repair. So there's that. And then understand that this is an unregulated closed system. So right now, the worry of why we have to create this. Remember what the 2012 law, the spirit of the 2012 right to repair law was a level playing field. Now, right now, you have this new way of delivering information, and car manufacturers can give who they want to. They could give it to an independent repair. They can pit independent repairers against each other. They can give it to some dealerships. Honestly, whoever pays them the most, right? Whoever gives them the biggest profit margins. And that's the problem that we're facing right now, is that in 2012, before that, car manufacturers were pricing independent repairers out. There was 26 different tools, 26 different ways of diagnosing and fixing a car. And it was just too expensive, to the point where independent repairers had to specialize certain makes and models, certain car manufacturers. They would do just Nissan and Honda, and they couldn't do the other ones because they couldn't afford the tools and they couldn't afford the information. And that's what we have now, a new unregulated system that if we don't fix this law, we're going to be back to 2012, and there'll be 26 different ways to fix 26 different car manufacturers, and owners will be left out in the dark on what's being collected, and independent repairers won't be able to do complete fixes and be forced to send cars to the dealership.
It's part of human history, the have and have nots. And you're right in regards to anybody who turns wrenches for a living know that it is not a cheap career to be in. And you could spend upwards to $30,000 for a toolbox and have to have a specialty wrench to be able to get at a screw or a bolt, or be able to fix something on an automobile. So you're absolutely right in that regards. That, again, and it's a cottage industry these days in order to be able to make money, and it's on the backs of consumers and those who are trying to make earn a living per se. Is there anything that we haven't touched upon during our conversation, but we should make sure that we touch upon to really give this information to our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, I think there's a notion that if you vote no, it shuts off the technology. And I need to urge people to understand that there's always privacy concerns, right? Where people get freaked out about technology and their phones or whatnot. If you vote no on this, the car manufacturers are still going to collect remote diagnostics and repair information from your car. They're still going to send it to dealerships. When you vote yes on this, you empower yourself to have access to that mechanical information and be able to share it with an independent repairer. You become the gatekeeper of how your car is operating, mechanical information. I stress enough, this is not about personal information. This is not about GPS information. I urge people to look at the language of the ballot initiative, look at the Attorney General summary. This is mechanical information necessary, and I quote, to diagnose, maintain, and repair the car. This is an update to a law you already voted for at 86%, highest passing ballot initiative in Massachusetts history. Voting yes empowers you to get that information. Voting no keeps status quo and keeps the car manufacturers who have a monetary interest in controlling the repair market and create a monopoly to collect that information without you getting access or your local shop.
Yeah, and how important is it to really get that out there? Because I will tell you, seeing some of the ads and knowing that this time of year, it's about, how shock value and scare tactics, and knowing that having an ad that says that, a predatory person could get a hold of your data. I mean, that automatically, I think, will scare a lot of people and go, oh, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, and you know, we're never gonna outspend the big car manufacturers from Detroit. They have 25 million, and I anticipate they'll have more. But at the end of the day, we hope people see this for what it really is, and that's an update, as it said, as you'll see it on November 3rd, or if you vote early. This is an act to update and enhance the 2013 right to repair law. This is about getting your car fixed where you want, not only today, but making sure you can do it tomorrow. Because, Kevin, as you said, sometimes bringing your car in, they're not getting all the codes. These are computers on wheels. And I'll tell you this, it's only going to get worse. 90% of cars now, 95 the next year. Before you know it, the OBD port will be gone. And the only place you'll get your car fixed is the dealership without updating the law.
Yeah, and again, I reiterate, this was through a personal experience where, you know, if I had gone the way of the dealership, it would have costed me a significant amount of money taking it to a local repair shop. And so, oh yeah, that'll cost X amount, and we'll have it back to you, you know, within 24 to 48 hours. And knowing that it would have costed me a quarter of what the dealership wanted, I'm like, going, you got to be kidding me. This is outrageous.
And this doesn't stop. Some people like to go to dealerships. They like to sit in the nice fancy lobbies and get a cup of coffee. That's still this law, the update to this law still allows you to do that. All it does is you as the owner gets this information and be able to share with it. You want choice. We all know without choice, you can charge whatever you want for a car repair. If you're the only shop in town that sells that brand new hockey stick and you're in New England, you can charge for whatever you want for that. And if dealerships are the only ones with access to this information, they'll be able to do that. But this doesn't stop. You can still go to the dealership if you want.
If folks want to find out more about, other than what we've discussed, so they want to read up on it themselves, how can they find out about the Massachusetts Right to Repair Initiative?
You can visit our website at massrighttorepair.org. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. If you look up MA Right to Repair, you can look up the language of the ballot initiative on Ballotpedia, but you can also do it on the Secretary of State's website. And I urge people to take a look at the language. Don't look at the summary of the Coalition for Safe and Secure Data and think that's what this is about, when you can look at the language below. Do your homework, read what's going on with your initiative today, and vote yes on one.
Thank you so much for your time, Tom.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Municipal Focus. As this particular program, we were joined by Tom Hickey. He is with the Massachusetts Right to Repair Initiative, which will be on your general election ballot on November 3rd. If you have a chance, get out and vote early. Until next time, have a great day.